Hey guys, welcome on in. Today you have the Outsiders final exam, and a big part of this exam is this 20-point final exam question. So what is the question? Well, the question is this today. Which is the most important theme in the Outsiders and why? And yes, it does require a racist response, which is why we're putting together this video, because we want to give you some tips that can help you crush this question. So if you follow everything that we're talking about, I promise that you will definitely improve your odds of nailing this exam question. Okay, now the key vocabulary is this word theme. Now, I know I've told you this word a million times and we've gone over this term a million times more, but theme is the life lesson in a story. So what this question's really asking is which is the most important life lesson in The Outsiders and why? As you'll notice on your final exam, you've got 6 possible themes that you can choose from. And yes, they are all pre-selected. You do need to choose one of these and support it with textual evidence as part of your racist response. The next thing is this teaching theme. Notice it is not part of this list, but it's here for instructional purposes only. So the teaching theme is it's okay to be different. So what I'd like you to do first, get a piece of writing paper out and a pencil or a pen. You could also do this in your own Google document if you want to, but I would recommend probably pencil and paper so you don't have to keep switching back and forth. Might make it easier on you. Okay, so what you're going to do first is do a restate and answer with this question, which is the most important theme in The Outsiders and why? And you're going to use it's okay to be different as part of your restate and answer. So combine those two things, turn that question into a statement. Go ahead and do that. 3, 2, 1. Pause the video and complete your restate and answer. Go. Okay, hopefully you took a minute to pause the video. Now you're back. Now here's my restate and answer, and this is all it needs to be. The most important theme in The Outsiders is it's okay to be different. All right, so that's all you got to do for your restate and answer. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to answer this question, and your response, whatever your answer is to this question, I want you to place it right here, right where my cursor is blinking, so that you can follow up on your restate and answer with this answer. So here is the question. How is Ponyboy different from the rest of the Greasers gang? Once again, how is Ponyboy different from the rest of the Greasers gang? Okay. What I'd like you to do is go ahead and write your response to that question right after the restate and answer, and then come back and check the video to see how your response compares to the one I provided. 3, 2, 1, pause. Hey, welcome back. So hopefully you wrote your response to that question. I'm going to share mine with you and you can see how yours compares. So here's what I said so far. The most important theme in The Outsiders is it's okay to be different. For example, Ponyboy Curtis, the book's narrator, is not like the rest of the Greasers because he doesn't like fighting unless it's in self-defense. He's also smart and sensitive, unlike characters such as Dallas Winston. And Ponyboy is very unlikely to ever be a hardened greaser like them. All right, so this is a pretty bold statement right here. And now we need to support that with textual evidence. So your next assignment as part of this video is to find a piece of textual evidence somewhere in the novel that shows that Ponyboy probably is never going to be a hardened greaser like the rest of them, including guys like Dally. So what I would recommend is looking at chapters 11 and 12. Chapter 12 specifically has a really good example in it to show evidence of this. So look through that and see if you can find it. Your last hint is page 146. And once you find it, go ahead and write down your textual evidence and come back and we'll compare your answer and see if everything matches up like it should. Okay, go ahead and do that. 3, 2, 1, pause. Hello again. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video and you found some textual evidence to show that Ponyboy is very unlikely to ever be hardened like the rest of the Greasers. So here's an example that I found. I'm going to lead off with this, and I'm going to recommend that you do this as well. So if you have not included this, please add this to your paragraph. One place where the reader can see this, so it should be one place where the reader can see this, please use this lead-in. It will help create a smooth transition between your previous sentence and the textual evidence you provide. So once again, one place where the reader can see this is toward the end of the novel when he encounters a small group of Socs and he busts the end of a bottle, threatening to hurt them if they didn't hop in their car and leave. After the encounter, 2-Bit tells Pony, "Don't get tough. You're not like the rest of us, and don't try to be." And that was on page 146. Now, a couple things I want to point out. Number one is that with quotations, they need to go in front and they need to go at back. So make sure that if you have quotes, they always come in pairs. The other thing is this. Parenthetical includes the author's last name and page number with parentheses around it. And the period does not go in here. Instead, you carry it over like a decimal in math and you place it behind the parenthetical like you see right there. Okay, so obviously this shows that he's not hardened like the rest of them, and 2-Bit calls him out for it. Now, what does this show? How does it show that he's maybe not like the rest of the greasers? What happens after this point that gives us evidence? I want you to go back to page 146, find this quote, and then summarize what happens after this that shows that he is not a hardened greaser. All right, welcome back. So hopefully you went to page 146, you found that evidence, and then you looked at what happened after this point. So here's what happened. I kind of summarized a little bit so that if somebody was reading this, they would get the key details. And then I showed what it really shows about Ponyboy. So it says Ponyboy doesn't even try to argue that 2-Bit is wrong. Instead, he picks up the glass from the bottle he broke off the street because he doesn't want anyone to get a flat tire. Okay, so obviously that shows that he's a very compassionate person. He cares about others. He's considerate. So this shows that he is accepting of who he is, and he knows he is different because he is much more considerate than the others, which is okay. So that's all we need for that part. Now, the last step after we have explained is to provide a sum it up statement. So go ahead and do that now, and we'll see you when you get back. 3, 2, 1, pause. Hey, welcome back for the last time. So hopefully you took care of the sum it up statement. I'm going to share mine with you and you can see how it compares with yours. So here's what I said. Ultimately, comma, Ponyboy's intelligence and compassion that others in the gang lack are positive traits because he realizes that with his education and writing skills, he can help others, outsiders, change their lives for the better by sharing his story with them. And that's all you need to do for the racist paragraph. So hopefully you've got a good review and you're ready for that exam tomorrow. Good luck, and we'll see you then.